powered by FiberFox.
Hey everyone, Mo's here from WVW Networking Solution, and welcome to video number 4 of building your WISP Internet Service Provider for beginners. Okay, first level, slowly. In this video, we are going to connect the first client. Yes, that was quick. So we already set the AP. Let me log in and see what we at. So we already set the AP. This is our core router. Traffic is going good. IPs are set in dynamically. Just leave them dynamically unless you want to mess with the static IPs. That is up to you. But when we get to the public IP distribution, then we're going to use some static IPs because we don't want nobody to push any DHCP to our network. Okay, so we'll figure that out later, how and what is the reason of doing it. So now this is my computer connected to my core, and this is my first access point that is connected to my router. Hey, all right, let's see now. So I'm using right now the light beam, factory default, connected the PoE to it. Now there is tricks we're gonna learn later, how I can have a dummy configuration in my computer every time I have a connection or a client to connect. I just pull that dummy configuration, and all I have to do once the light beam connected, I can change client name, information, and everything, just to make the process quicker when you're there instead of you sitting. Or you can prepare them in advance, and I prefer that. You can prepare all these in advance. Once you have schedule and install, you do everything before you get there. You test it. You need to have a couple devices in hand to simulate your real AP and your real thing, test the reception, because you want to make sure as soon as you get there, you ain't got no time to waste to diagnose and troubleshoot in an installation day. In installation day, you should connect and walk away. No troubleshooting. So you need to make sure before you get there that everything works fine. All right, so we're going to log in again to the Ubiquiti. Let me disconnect my laptop. You can do it through Bluetooth, like I said. Once we get the USB controller, we go back to do all these, but in the Bluetooth way. But then you have to do this in advance. You have to do this first. You have to learn it, how it's done through cabling and wires, and then you go to the fancy stuff, because sometimes you have to go back to these wire and things when things go south. Now, we still see the access point here, but we're not going to worry about that. The LB, this is our client device. Okay, so we want to connect our client device to the access point. So we're going to connect to that, advanced, we're going to ignore this warning, and we should be in now. Again, we're going to do the same thing. It's United States English, and you have to agree to the terms of use and not abuse. I'm going to call it user one, and the password, I'm going to do the same thing. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 8 7 6 5 4. No, not 4, 5. And then we're going to do the same thing. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 8 7 6 5. There you go. Everything's set, and then we're going to click save. Now we should be entering the interface of the light beam. This is my light beam, and he's ready to get married with an access point. See, he's scanning non-stop. He's looking. So let's do this now. Okay, let's go to the network. It's going to be as a router. Remember that. We don't want to do bridge, and we're going to go advanced. Why advanced? Because we want to use both VLAN for the management and the client. Okay? So don't be afraid. It's very simple. Same thing. First thing first, we're going to define VLAN 20. VLAN 10, now it's called native VLAN, okay, which is the default VLAN. Okay, so we created the WLAN. Now let's create the LAN. Here we're going to create the 20. Okay, but we're not going to do no bridges. Definitely we're not. All right, so let's go back in here. Now my WAN setting, okay, which is the WAN for the light beam. It's gonna be VLAN 20. It's gonna be a DHCP and it's gonna be NATed. And for now, I'm gonna do all this. That's fine. Block management access. We can do a DMZ, but just leave it as it is. We're not gonna just simple. We're gonna keep it simple, okay? We're not gonna click a lot of things. Later on, we'll go back and define those out. So now, my router will have an exit through VLAN 20. What's my LAN setting? What's my client setting? What he's gonna get? Because I know my gateway here, it has that IP address. So I don't want no conflict. So I'm gonna give this client 50. Make sure you remember all your IPs. You don't want no conflict in those. DHCP, yes, he has to have a DHCP. I can limit the DHCP, but you can leave it this way. And my primary DNS, I'm gonna let him go to Google. I don't want him to, for now. Okay, later on we'll see how this is sometimes good, but sometimes bad. So, but for now, we're just going it as simple as it can be. So now I set my one for my Lightbeam. I set my client internal IP addresses. And now I'm going to set my management and I'm going to leave it at bridge. And then I'm going to add the DHCP to it. That's it. That's all it needs to be done in the network side. The traffic shaping, you can do it manually, or when you have the controller and you assign a client to a plan, it will inject that plan automatically to here. But we're going to do it manually, but not now. Okay, we're just trying to get things rolling right now. So we define the network. Again, we're going to go right here. We have to name it. Yeah, we're going to call it client 1. This is my first client. Yay! Client 1. This is how you define the device, by the name of your client. Update, I'm not worried about it. And NTP client, I'm going to do this because later on, I will be connecting it to the controller. Okay, so that is set. Services, disabling SSH again. Leave everything as it is. Network, we did that. Now let's get to the wireless. So now I am going to put it in a feed mode. I'm not pushing any power. Okay. So this is just going to connect to who? Let it scan. So once it scan, I know what's my access point name, and it should be say AirMax. Here you go. So it's AirMax AC, Rocket Prism, and I know that my who's this in here? That is UISP. Okay, that's me, but who's this on top? Oh, that's my other one. All right, never mind. So the UISP, that's what we're going to use right now, and it's on 40. See how all this is empty? I'll show you later how we can use that to have very clean, neat service. What's the con and what's the pro? We'll discuss that. So now we're going to connect to this, and I'm going to say, all right. So after some reason, some time, I don't know why Ubiquiti does this, but it doesn't work from the first time. You have to give it, what is it, this one? Yeah. So we should have now the button to connect, but we don't, right? It's a glitch that sometimes happens. It's okay. Scan it again. Okay. This is the only AirMax in where I'm at right now, and here you go. So now we're going to select it. And once we select it, we have to put the password, which is, I believe it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There you go. We're going to respect the ERP limit. It's a base, and we're going to leave everything the same. As basic as it can be. And we're going to save changes. Okay. Now what's going to happen, if I remember the password correctly, I should be able to have connection. I lost connection because it's doing reboot. So now I have to, well, I got it again, it's still connected. And now it's scanning the network until it find all the way right here. This is where we set it. Then once it connects, it will give me all the information that I need right here. Let's wait for it. There you go. You should log me out right now. Please do that. Then I know you are fully connected. Gotta wait, be patient a little bit. That's why all these things has to be done prior of you going to the site. You're gonna screw it. You're gonna make mistakes. Things are never going to work the way you want them to work. So we are connected. That's how I know that. Then we're definitely gonna get kicked out. Oh, we're not. You know why? Because we connected through the management radio to the. If we are connected through wired, we're definitely gonna get kicked out. So yes, everything is in feed mode right now. Very low power, like literally nothing. And here it is. So we're getting connected, and everything looks fine. Now, if I go to my MikroTik, which is I have. So we're gonna leave this as it is right now. Okay, we're just gonna make sure that everything worked to conclude this video, and then we're gonna go back later and take care of it. All right, so at this point I need to go to the MikroTik first to see if I get the IP address from VLAN 10 for the radio, and then I'm gonna connect my computer to the radio and see if I get an IP from 192.168.50. something. All right. So let me connect this to my MikroTik and disable my Wi-Fi on my laptop and confirm that everything is done as planned. So I'm going to disable my Wi-Fi. Here we go. Great. Awesome. We got an IP address from 10.0.11.251 UBNT. All right. So congratulations. You get your first client radio connected. But the question is, my client now, it's not at VLAN 10. My client is at VLAN 20, right? So my client need to connect to the other port in the PWE, and it should have, let's try it. I'm going to disconnect this computer and see what IP address I'm getting from my client. All right. Connected it. If everything goes fine and perfect, we should have. Okay, so let me try to connect. Now the thing, I am in my client side right now. So this is my client network. Okay, this is my first client network. I should not be able to access MikroTik from there. Okay, so we're not going to worry about this right now. I just want to see what IP address is getting. I know we don't have internet. We'll resolve that later. But for now, I want to see through CMD what IP address this computer is having. So we're going to go my client computer or whatever you name it. I am not IP address, dude. IP config. So we're going to IP config right now, and here we go. My computer is getting an IP address 192.168.50.240. So yes, I am connected to my client router right now. So yes, everything is done as it should be, but we are missing a little thing, and I just remember it right now. We are missing a little thing to add in the MikroTik. We did not tag VLAN 20 to the interface. We untagged VLAN 10. Remember, we did that pivot for VLAN 10? Yes, we did that. That's correct. But we did not tag the VLAN 20 to the same interface that's going to the AP, because the AP is ready for it and my client is ready for it, but the MikroTik is not delivering it yet. And to confirm, I'm going to ping and I'm not going to get nothing. See? Because now it is no traffic. VLAN 20 is dead. VLAN 10 is up. So I can see the radio is getting an IP address. but then my clients are not. Even though I did I think I did isolation for the network. I don't think I did that, but my client cannot access my Winbox on my router, which is great. I didn't add no security features yet. And because I added my client, so he cannot access. If I did bridge, boom, he's gonna access my router. So yes. All right, let me go ahead and check what we did, the little boo-boo, and we're gonna check it out and see. All right, so I went back to MikroTik to fill the gap, just to fix that little boo-boo that I did. It's not a boo-boo, it's just, anyway. So the thing right now, that yes, the radio is picking up an IP address from 10.0.10.1/23, and it's getting this IP address, but my client from VLAN 20 is not picking up. Why? Because remember, we did the bridge between the two port and we tag it. Let me go back to it. Bridge port ether 2. We changed the pivot to 10. Okay, but we have to also tell the switch in that port what VLAN is going to be tagged, which is VLAN 20. So in this case, we're going to go to VLANs. Okay, see, this is all dynamically assigned. So we're going to click on this one and copy it. But it is what we're going to do. The bridge, that's the core bridge. The VLAN ID is going to be VLAN 20. So we add in this statically. Okay, it's not going to add it dynamically. And then it's not going to be tagged, but it's going to be tagged in ether 2. So we add VLAN 20 to the core bridge, tagged in ether 2. And we're going to apply, and then OK. So at this point, we did add VLAN 20 to ether 2. Now the access point, if any request comes in from VLAN 20 to access the internet, it should let it go because it knows about it. And to do that, I am going to disconnect my computer and connect it to my client. Okay, so now my computer is connected to the client. To confirm that, I am going to do an IP config. And if you remember, my client is in 192.168.50.1/24. So I am connected right now to my client router, my client dish, which is the same router. Now, can I ping? Yes, indeed, I should be able to ping because VLAN 20 now is predefined in everywhere, in the switch, in the access point, and in my client router. Now, can it still access my MikroTik? No, it can't. So your client, it's by nature, because of the NAT, and we have the VLAN isolation in this switch router thing, so it's not going to be able to access anything. Okay, but we're still going to reinforce these rules later in the firewall. Just one thing before we consider this as a success. We're going to connect my computer again to the router, to my MikroTik. I want to see the DHCP lease. Okay, so all right, I am going to log in on MikroTik. So I plugged in a router in my client side, and I want to see if it's going to show in my DHCP and if it's going to have an IP address. Because remember, it's not connected to VLAN 20, it's going to be connected to, it's not connected to VLAN 10, sorry. It's going to be connected to VLAN 20. So I'm going to DHCP server, and here we go, and this is my client number 1. So this is the radio for my client number 1, all right? And this is telling me that my client number 1 is receiving an IP address from 10.0.20.254, and that will allow him to access the internet. At this point, my client have internet, his router is picking up an IP, I'm confident my network is running, it's kind of secure a little bit, it's not 100% yet, but I can consider it a good to go. So Now at this point, I create the router, the AP, the CPE, my VLAN structures. You can add other VLANs if you need, and we're going to do that later. We're going to make a specific VLAN that have a message if you want. So in order, if let's say your client did not pay or you want to send him a message, disconnect him and send him a message. So what happened when they try to go into their internet, all they're going to see is that message pops up on them that, sorry, internet has been disconnected. Please call us to reactivate the service. So yeah, there's so many things you can do. You can add another VLAN also for a public IP if you want to distribute them. But the good thing about MikroTik, you don't need to add another VLAN. You can actually add the subnet to VLAN 20. And then it's up to you what you want to give him, a private IP or a public IP. It's just one click. Yeah, at this point, consider this done. In the next video, I will be marrying the Ubiquiti Cube with my client CPE. I will use it as an AP, an access point. I don't want to use it as a router because that's another NAT that I'm trying to avoid. So at this point, in the next video, we're going to go a little bit through the router, just 2 minutes to see what else we can add. The access point, also we're going to log into it, make sure, if we're missing anything. My client premise devices, CPE, which is the router, the dish outside. I'm going to log into it and make sure that, we're getting a good signal and everything. And then I'm going to add my Ubiquiti cube, which is going to act as an access point for my client, and then the setup will be done. Here it is for beginners. That's it. There is nothing else into this, and you can run it. The good thing about MikroTik, now, in order to do all these, you have to access the GUI for every device, but then we're going to add the UASP controller, which will allow you to do that. But we can also get a VPN for that. There's so much coming in. Just stay tuned for the next video, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care now.